everybody, hope you're doing well. My name is Mahmoud Kiasari. I'm from the channel of Special K. So as I just promised, today we are here with another episode of basic arithmetic. So this one would be about the subtraction. So again, as we just have in the previous slide, the definition of subtraction means that finding the difference between two numbers or taking away one amount from another one. For instance, when we're talking about the subtraction of 10 and 4, it means that how much is the difference between 4 and 6. And as you can see in the visual representation, I do have 4 subtracted by 2, which is equals to 2. It means that the initial point would be started at number 4, that we do have 2 steps to the left, and after that we do have 2 as the ending number. Another example would be 15 subtracted by 7 is equals to 8, 23 subtracted by 12 is equals to 11. Like the addition, we also do have the column method. It means that each number should be beneath another number based on the place value units. After that one, if you remember, in the addition we had the carrying method. So at this point we do have the borrowing method. It means that there are some times that when you do this subtraction, for example 54 subtracted by 29, not all the time I can do the subtraction in an easy way. It means that at some point my first number or second number or the third number or any other number, if it wants to borrow a number from the same from its same place value unit, it would face a problem. So it means that at this point there are not enough nines inside the 4 in order to borrow. It means that at this point I have to get a number from the next part, from the left part, in order to add it to number 4. So at this point my 5 is going to be converted to number 4. I do have 4, and this guy is going to 4 plus 10. Why 10? Because each unit, if you remember, each unit from the value point or from the place of 10th is going to actually value as 10. So I do have 4 plus 10, which equals to 14. At this point, 9 is going to be subtracted from 14, which I do have 5. 2 subtracted by 4 is equals to 2, so I do have the 25. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And after that one, we had a couple of examples, easy examples. For instance, I had 12 minus 7 is equals to 5, so easy. I don't need any calculator, it's just in your you can just do it in your head. It's simple. 15 subtracted by 8 is equals to 7. 63 subtracted by 24 is one of those questions that we have to implement the borrowing method. 63 subtracted by 24, it means that 4 subtracted by 3, I cannot do that, so I have to borrow a number from number 6. 6 is equals to 5 plus 1. So my 6 is going to be converted to 5, and this 1 is going to be borrowed by number 3. So at this point, my number 3 is going to be 3 plus 10 is equal to 13. 4 is going to be subtracted from number 13, so I do have it as a 9, and 2 instead of subtracted by 6 is going to be subtracted from 5, so I do have a 3, and I do have a 39. Let's do the same point between 72 subtracted by 45. Again, at this point, I cannot subtract 5 out of 2. It means that one of those carrying numbers from the 7 is going to be borrowed by number 2. So 1 is going to be moved to the number 2, and my 2 is going to be converted to what? It's going to be converted to 12. So 5 is going to be subtracted from 12. 5 subtracted by 12 is going to be 7. And again, 4 instead of being subtracted by 7 is going to be subtracted by 6. Why? Because I just borrowed 1 as a carrying number and moved it to the right side. So I do have a 4 subtracted by 6, which is equals to 27, just like the way that we do have as an answer over here. For the next one, 150 subtracted by 56, again, we do have an answer over here, 94. 243 subtracted 128 is equals to 115. We did all of these ones in the previous videos. For the next part or for the next slides, we are going to solve a couple of more complicated questions. So at this point, again, we do have more examples. 6 subtracted by 3 is going to be 3. For 8 subtracted by 4 is just the 4 itself. 5 subtracted by 2 is 3. 9 subtracted by 5 is just 4. 7 subtracted by 3 is 4. 8 subtracted by 41. As you can see over here, I only have one number as unit, 8 units, and it's going to be subtracted by 41. It's going to be this number, it's going to be subtracted from 41. 8 subtracted by 1, I cannot do that. So I have to borrow a number out of 4. So my 4 is going to be converted to 3. My 1 is going to be converted to 11. 8 is going to be subtracted from 11. I do have 3. I also had another 3. There's no number that I can use a subtraction over here. So at the end, I do have a 33. So what should I do for the next part? 33 subtracted by 7. So at this point, I do have the 7 subtracted by 3. I cannot do that. I have to borrow a number out of 3, move it to number 3. So at this point, I do have 13. So 7 subtracted by 13 is going to be 6. At this point, my 3 just converted to 2. So I do have 26 at the final answer. 28 subtracted by 9, same point. 2 is going to be converted to 1. 8 is going to be converted to 18. 9 subtracted by 18 is just 9. And I do have another one that on the left side, so I'm going to consider over here. 4 subtracted by 12, again, same value. Either you can consider it as 8, because it's simple, or we can do it again over here. So 1 is going to be converted to 0 because there's not enough 4 inside the 2. 2 is going to be converted to 12, so I do have the 8 itself. Again, it just it was a little bit stupid over here if you want to do that. It wasn't the very right word, so try to cut this part. So 8 subtracted by 12 is just 8 itself. 11 subtracted by 16 is just a 5. So 72 subtracted by 65, how we should do that? There's not enough 5 inside the 2 itself. I have to borrow a number out of 7. This guy is going to be converted to 6. This 2 is going to be converted to 12. 5 subtracted by 12 is 7. 6 subtracted by 6 is going to be 0 itself. So the number answer is 6. 33 subtracted by 99. I don't need to do anything because there is enough 3 inside the 9. 3 subtracted by 9, 6. 3 subtracted by this 9, 6. No worries. 66 subtracted by 57. I cannot subtract 7 from the 6 because there's not enough 7 inside the 6. So I have to borrow a number out of 8, and this guy is going to be converted to 7. So at this point, I do have 1 is going to be converted to 10. Remember, each number from the 10th is going to worth 10th. And each number from 100 is going to worth 100. So I do have 6 plus 10. I do have it as 16. 7 subtracted by 16 is going to be 9. 5 at this point is going to be subtracted from 7, which is going to 2, or 29. 23 subtracted by 14. So either you can just find the number itself is going to be 9, or you can do it like this. I cannot subtract this 4 out of 13. I have to convert the 2 to number 1. In the meantime, I do have 13. Why 13? You tell me. 4 subtracted by 13 is equals to what? Is equal to 9. 1 subtracted by 1 is going to be 0. 27 subtracted by 19. Again, at this point, I don't have enough 9 inside the 7. This guy is going to be converted to 1. This guy is going to be converted to 17. I do have 8, and I do have 0. Easy peasy. Let's move to the more complicated part. So this is just the answer for the last slide. At the complicated part, you can see instead of just having 2 numbers of just had the units and tenth, we do have 2 numbers which they have hundreds. So this guy is going to be a little bit more complicated, or at some point we do have 4 units, 4 numbers side by side, or 4 digits. I will give you some time, try to pause the video, do it by yourself, and after that we come back. So let's do all of them one at a time. So 732 subtracted by, I just changed one. 732 subtracted by 608, 7. I cannot do that. 7 out of 10. I'm going to borrow a number out of this one. 10 is going to be converted to 2. So one number is going to move over here, which for units is 10. So I do have a 12. 7 subtracted by 12 is going to be 5. Again, the same scenario. I don't have enough 8 inside the 2 for doing this subtraction. I'm going to borrow a number out of 100 and move it to the 10th. Remember, a number in 100 worth 100. And if you move this one to 10th, it's going to worth 10th. It means that each 100 is equals 10 multiplied by another 10. So it means that if I borrow a number out of this point and move it to 3, is not going to worth 100. It's going to worth 10th. So my 2 is going to be converted to what? 12. 8 subtracted by 12 is 4. At this point, I just borrow a number. So that guy is going to be converted to 6. 6 subtracted by 6 is 0. So my final answer is 45. If you want to see that your answer is right or not, the very simple way is that add 687 plus 45. So I do have the 5. That would be a very, very good review. I do have a 5 plus 7. This guy is going to be 12. After that, I do have 4. I do have 8. I do have 1. This is going to be 13. I'm going to keep the 3 at this point, move the 1 to another side, and 1 plus 6 is going to 732. See that? Our answer was right. Let's do the same scenario for the next part. 847 subtracted by 659. There is not enough 9 inside 7. I have to borrow it from the next one, which is going to be converted to 3. So my 7 is going to convert it to 17. 900 by 9 subtracted by 17 is going to be 8. I cannot do the subtraction between 5, and remember this time I do have a new number 3. So I have to borrow a number out of 8, which is going to be 7, and move it to number 3. My 3 right now is going to be converted to 13. 5 subtracted by 13 is 8. 6 excuse me, 6 subtracted by 7 is going to be 188. I do have this very, very simple one. 399 subtracted by 299. 9 subtracted by 9, 0. 9 subtracted by 9, 0. 2 subtracted by 3, 100. Easy. So another one, I do have 387 subtracted by 241. So 1 is going to be subtracted by 7. I do have it as a 6. There's no need for borrowing method because there is enough 1 inside 7 itself. 4 is going to be subtracted from 8. I do have 4. And 2 is going to be subtracted by 3. And I do have 146. Let's move to the next number. So we do have 3,472 subtracted by 495. So 5 is going to be subtracted from 2. Again, we do have a problem. There's not enough 5 inside the 2. I have to borrow a number out of 7, and after that move it to my 2, which is going to be worth 10. So this guy is going to be plus 10. I do have 12. 5 subtracted by 12 is going to be 7. Again, do the same scenario. 9 is going to be subtracted by 6, but again, there's not enough 9 inside the 6 itself. I have to borrow a number out of the next part, which is 100. Move it to my number 6 is going to be worth 10 at this point, so I do have 16. So 9 subtracted by 16 is going to be 7. 4 subtracted by 3. I cannot do that. I have to borrow a number from the next part, which is going to be 2. My 3 is going to be converted to 13. 4 subtracted by 13 is 9, and I do have this number again. Let's try it to see that our answer is right or not. 2,977 plus 495. 5 plus 7 is 12. 9 plus 7 plus 1 is going to 17. 9 plus 4 plus 1 is equals to 14, and I do have this number. As you can see, this number and this number are the same, so we are right. 312 subtracted 186. Again, let's just fast forward. 6 subtracted by 2, we cannot do that. Borrow a number from the last part. This guy is going to be converted to 0, and after that, this number is going to be converted to 12. 6 subtracted by 12 is 6. I cannot subtract 8 out of 0 because there's not enough 8 in it. Obviously, I'm going to borrow a number out of 3. This guy is going to be converted to 2, and this guy is going to be converted to what? To 10. Why 0 plus 10? So 8 subtracted by 10 is equals to 2. 1 subtracted by 2 is equals 126. Let's do it over here. This one is simple. I don't need the borrowing method. 0 subtracted by 9 is equals to 9. 1 subtracted by 1 is 0. And 2 subtracted by 4 is 2. 209. Let's do this part. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but I believe at this point it's not because, again, there is no borrowing thing. Why? There's enough 8 inside the 8. 0. There's enough 6 inside the 6. 0. There's enough 1 inside the 2. 1. There's enough 3 inside the 3. I do have 0. Simple. So for the next part, what do I have? 47 subtracted by 38. Again, I don't have enough 8, so I have to borrow it from the next point. This guy is going to be converted to 7. This guy is going to be converted to 17. So 9 plus that number is going to 9 plus 8 is equals to 17. 3 subtracted by 3. Remember, 4 just converted to 3. Why? Because of the borrowing method. 3 subtracted by 3 is 0, so I do have it like this. 63 subtracted by 8. Again, I cannot do that, so I have to borrow a number out of 6. Move it to the next part, which is going to be 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. 8 subtracted by 13 is going to give me what? It's going to give me 5. I do have another 5. Put it beside of it. I do have 55. 47 subtracted by 32. It is simple. Again, there's no borrowing method. 2 subtracted by 7, 5. 3 subtracted by 4 as 1. I do have 15. Next part. Again, it's easy. 8 subtracted by 9 is 1. 4 subtracted by 5 is 1. Simple. Next one, 21 subtracted by 368. There's not enough 9 inside the 8. I have to borrow it from the 6. This guy is going to be converted to 1. And this guy is going to lend 10 to 8. And this guy is going to be converted to 18. 9 subtracted by 18 is 9. 2 subtracted by 5 is 3. I'm going to keep the 3 as the way it is. Why? Because there's nothing to be subtracted from it. 339. 219 subtracted 191. So 1 subtracted by 9 is equals to 8. There's no problem. So 1 is going to have some problem. There's not enough 9 inside the 1 itself. So I have to borrow 1 out of 2, and after that move it to the next part. 1 plus 10. So this guy is equals to 11. 9 subtracted by 11, which is 2. 1 subtracted by 1, 0. So I do have 28. 385 subtracted by 246. Again, simple. I'm going to borrow a number out of this is going to be 5. Move it to 5. 5 plus 10 is equals to 15. So 6 subtracted by 15 is going to be 9. 4 subtracted by 7 is equals to 3. And 2 subtracted by 3 is 139. 372 subtracted by 192. 2 subtracted by 2, 0. 9 cannot be subtracted from 7, so we have to borrow a number out of hundreds and move it to 10th. So it's going to be 10 plus 7 is equal to 17. 9 subtracted by 17 is equals to what? Is equals to 8. 1 subtracted by 2 is equals to 180. Again, you can check all of your answer. I'm sure all of them are right with the next slide. So at this point, we just learned about the subtraction and all of the methods that you have to do with the complicated one. It doesn't matter how many more digits you have, 5 digits, 6 digit by 6 digit. Again, the method is the same. It's about borrowing method. Remember, when you implement the borrowing method for each of those numbers, don't forget to just decrease down one point at a time, and after that, keep that value. Again, thank you very much for joining my channel. I hope you completely understand the subtraction method. Again, for the next video, we are going to talk about the multiplication, which is the thing that I do like. Thank you very much for being here. Hope you all have a great day, night, or whatever. See you soon. Bye.